Kicking off my attempt to clear my backlog in the span of 12 months, we have Stray Gods. This Greek mythology-inspired musical game, yes, you heard me right, a musical, has us play as Grace, who has to find out who really killed Calliope, and coming to terms with her position as the last muse. I have been waiting for Summerfall Studios to make it ever since the original crowdfunding announcement, and it is finally here. I am so glad I picked this up on release day. The 2D art on 3D backgrounds reminds me of sort of the Heaven's Vault vibe, and the branching decision-making mechanic fits in perfectly for someone who likes Until Dawn, Detroit Become Human, or any of the TellTale games. Another fantastic score by Austin Wintory, with a game full of compelling lore and world building. I'd gladly play for a sequel, prequel, or pay to grab a spin-off novel or transmedia kind of thing. A few tech issues here and there, but nothing game-breaking. I give it 8 out of 10. I'm on a quest to try and defeat my entire gaming backlog in under a year. That's over 130 games to roll credits on by the end of September 2024. And this is game number 2 of that list, TellTale's Game of Thrones. Not technically something from the backlog, as I have finished it on PC during its original release, but I haven't finished my playthrough on PS4, so why not dive back in for some nostalgia? And well, nostalgia lied to me. Despite breezing through the 6 episodes last time, my 2023 playthrough has been a slog. I struggled to finish it, only managing a few scenes of each chapter at a time before having to move on and play something else. Game of Thrones has its moments, but 9 years on from playing this for the first time, the pacing and the sheer padding of slow movement just took away from all the enjoyment. Roderick is still my favourite out of all the viruses, but I doubt any of them would live to see the Winds of Winter. It set itself up for a sequel that never happened. I'm giving it 4 out of 10. I'm on a quest to try and defeat my entire gaming backlog in under a year. That's over 130 games to roll credits on by the end of September 2024. And this is game number 3, Lost Words. And we have our first queue jumper with this cute little indie. I knew nothing about it going in, just that the narrator Izzy reminded a friend of mine of me, so of course I had to try it out. What greeted me was 5 hours of gorgeous animation and great design with a plot that reminded me heavily of Grease. I cried pretty much from the start and even managed to grab the platinum in under about 5 hours. Really intuitive gameplay, and the concept is one of those perfectly designed for the medium. This just wouldn't work as well if it was a movie or a novel. If you're a subscriber to PS Plus Extra, go and check this out, I definitely recommend it. Fully 9 out of 10 rating. I'm on a quest to try and defeat my entire gaming backlog in under a year. That's over 130 games to roll credits on by the end of September 2024. And this is the 4th game on that list, Insomniac Games' 2018 SpiderMan. Yes, its sequel releases in only 3 weeks. We're only just getting to this, and I guess that's the beauty of the backlog. I actually started this game before, getting partway through the 2nd act before uninstalling for a reason I can't actually remember. But this time I was determined to finish and get the trophy list complete and the platinum before the release of its sequel on the 20th of October. Slick, gorgeous, and excellent writing that just... the entire game is chef's kiss, okay? Even that unending grind of Act 3 felt kind of appropriate, almost like we're experiencing the unending cleanup Peter's dealing with while we continue to play on. And the music, oh my god, the music. If you really want me to get invested in a game from the get-go, have a banging score on the intro. Easily 8 or 9 out of 10. And we're up to game number 5 for the backlog, and it's Assassin's Creed Mirage. 3 years since the last main series release, and Ubisoft is back with another little historical action game. And unlike with Valhalla, I went to this completely blind after the first trailer, which, to be honest, felt like the right decision. The game uses the same RPG style that we've seen back since Origins in 2017, but its story, the mechanics themselves, feel like a hark back to the Desmond era games in AC1. I had so much fun with an AC game for the first time in what felt like forever, and I finished the main story in about 12 hours and platinumed the entire game in just over 20. Baghdad is absolutely beautiful and mwah! Environmental storytelling beloved. The reintroduction of tools like blow darts and improved smoke bombs as central mechanics was such a great idea, and it really fits the tricksy thinking on his feet vibe that is just Basim. I really want to give this game a 10 out of 10, but there are some issues like that just pushes down to a 9 for me, but it's still a really, really good game.
We're 6 games into my gaming backlog adventures, and I finally finished something that's been on my backlog for a while. 1111 Memories Retold. Just like with Valiant Hearts before it, this World War I Sept game emotionally devastated me with its friendship between Canadian photographer Harry and the German father Kurt. Its multiple endings pull no punches, both in the good and the terribly bad, heartbreaking sense. The artistic style of the game almost reminded me of a painting, which while gorgeous did sometimes make it difficult to focus on certain things, almost like it was meant to be abstract rather than telling you about the war itself. Lottie the cat was an adorable mechanic that they added in for Kurt's part, and I'm still thinking about the symbolism of each protagonist associated with their animals. I had a lot of fun trying to find all the collectibles and taking photos with Harry and his parts, but I really thought the adventure might have been a little bit longer than the 5 hours for a full playthrough. Plus, this has Elijah Wood in it. I'd give this game a 7.5 out of 10, and if you want to try it for yourself, it's free in the PS Plus catalogue. I set myself a challenge of trying to get through my entire 130 strong gaming backlog in the span of 12 months. And number 7 on that list is Life is Strange True Colours. And I wish I had gotten to this one sooner. Oh my goodness. Having only played the first one with Max and Chloe, I really saw the transition of the franchise and how it's grown with here. Alex Chen is a delight and her nerdiness is adorable, and I just want to give her a hug, okay? The third episode with its whole D&D adventure was fantastic and so wholesome. I loved it. And especially the bit where it turned into an old RPG fight. Always amazing to see Steph again, and that small insight we got of Ryan and Gabe's friendship felt so wholesome, and I wish we got to see more of it. Overall, 8 out of 10. I managed to get the good ending with everyone on my side, but come on, can we at least have someone in this franchise who earns their powers while not having it be associated with a loved one dying? This is like the 3rd or 4th time, come on. I'm on a quest to try and at least attempt every single game in my gaming backlog by the end of September 2024. And this is game number 8 on that journey, Coffee Talk. This little indie takes place in a fantasy Seattle for a 2-week span during the month of October as customers come and go with their problems for the titular late-night coffee shop. I absolutely loved the little nods to popular fantasy culture in this one, from like the Lord of the Rings inspired username, and oh how relatable is Freya's writer's block at the beginning. My latte art could use a little bit of work though. The soundtrack for this game is absolutely gorgeous, and the true ending had me absolutely shooketh, especially when I caught the spoilery little thing from Neil on day 10. 9 out of 10. I absolutely loved this and really enjoyed my time with it, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the sequel at some point. We're 9 games into my attempt to clear an entire gaming backlog in the span of a year, and this time we're looking at Middle-earth: Shadow of War. This being number 9 was unintentional, but Tolkien does like symbolism a little bit. This was another one of those games which I began in the background alongside other titles, but I pushed it forward when it was announced it was leaving the PS Plus catalogue in the following 3 weeks. But with Shadow of War, my delve back into the now expanded lands of Mordor felt a lot more natural than when I picked it up the first time. I loved all the mini-games, I loved all the sieging, but I gave it a 7 out of 10. Talion really deserved a better ending, but some of the mechanics were funky to work around, and I really wish a few more recurring faces from Shadow of Mordor had shown their face again, just so we know that they were okay. We're finally up to double digits in my quest to clear my gaming backlog, and number 10 is Sherlock Holmes: Crimes and Punishments. The second title in the series that I played after Versus Jack the Ripper, Frogwares is basically king of the Holmes games at this point. Originally released in 2014, Crime and Punishment provided some interesting puzzles with homages to the original stories, while proving that Sherlock is a lot more empathetic than most interpretations give him credit for. I'm looking at you, BBC. 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving myself an extra point for walking into the third case and immediately figuring out the murder weapon before it was even an option in the game. And a bonus point for Toby, who is such a good little doggo. There's even a trophy for interacting with the Baker Street Pupper in every single one of the cases.